Are you finding Canada is getting too expensive and it's becoming very hard for the average Canadian to get ahead? Well, this is the right video for you. In this video, I will show you the 9 Canadian cash checkpoints on how you can go from a broke beaver into a money moose. Now let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is to build a financial foundation so that we do not go back into debt as we are building wealth. So the first thing that I would do is, if you have any debt payments, reduce them down to your minimum payments, and then you need to save $1,000 as soon as you can, because you do not want a small emergency coming up and then forcing you to go back into debt again. So you need to get this $1,000 as fast as you can. You can get it by taking a side job, a part-time job, doing a side hustle, selling things around the house, but you need to get this $1,000 as soon as you can. Now, the next thing that you need to do is sign up for your employer-sponsored retirement plan or employer match, because these are often a 100% return, and that is definitely above the 20% interest that you're paying on your credit card. So I would definitely ensure that you're doing this next so that more of your money is moving in the right direction, increasing your net worth. The third checkpoint is to pay off all your high-interest non-mortgage debt. So this is any debt that is above 6%. So what you're going to do is you're going to list off your smallest debt all the way to your largest debts, and then pay off the smallest balance first, as this gives you a little win, and then you feel like you get some momentum, and then you can take the money that you were paying towards your first debt towards your next debt, and this is the debt snowball, and you can continue to roll this over until all your debt is gone. Now that our debt is paid off, the next Canadian cash checkpoint is to save up a 3-month emergency fund. Now, the reason you need this is you really don't want anything in life to derail your financial plan. You don't want a broken car, a vet bill, you don't want a job loss or anything like that. So you need a 3-month emergency fund of expenses. Now, the rule of thumb for the building wealth phase is you want to invest 20 to 25% of your income. Now, you're going to first start this in checkpoint 5 in your first home savings account if you have not bought a house yet. And this will be a tax write-off. It is also tax-free when you withdraw it to buy a home, and it grows tax-free while it's in the account. Now, you can contribute up to $8,000 every year into the first home savings account. Now, the one thing is if you think you're going to buy a house within the next 1 to 2 years, I would highly suggest that you just keep this in a money market fund. You do not want it in anything risky, just so that your down payment is not lost if there is a market downturn. However, if you have about a 5-year runway, like people in Vancouver and Toronto normally do, I would consider investing this in the stock market, and I would invest it in index funds, ETFs, just like VEQT or XEQT. These are asset allocation fund portfolios that invest in the global stock market, and they just want to get the average return on the market, and these are some of your best options. Checkpoint 6 is to maximize your tax-free savings account. So you have to pay income tax on the money before you put it into your TFSA, but then when you go to withdraw your TFSA, you do not pay taxes on it. I would prefer this over the RRSP because I don't want to pay taxes when I'm retired, and also I don't trust that the government isn't going to increase our taxes by the time I retire. So I think that I will actually be paying a higher rate when I'm retired. So that is why I'm doing the TFSA first. Now, checkpoint 7 is to contribute to your RRSP. So you're only going to contribute to this as much that it takes to get to that 20 to 25% of your income invested. Now, with the RRSP, anything that you put into it will be a tax write-off. However, you will have to pay this tax at retirement at whatever your income rate is. Now that we are invested and we have a lot of our money working towards wealth generation, now we can start to pay off our low interest debt in checkpoint 8. So this is going to be things like your student loans, or if you don't have those, then this is where we would actually start to pay off extra on our mortgage. Because once you don't have student loans and you don't have a mortgage, this makes it really easy to retire as you no longer have housing expenses. So this is what I would do next to become wealthy. Now that you're mortgage free and debt free, now you can enter checkpoint 9, and this is wealth acceleration. Now what you're going to do is you're going to invest that mortgage payment that is freed up, and this is going to make your wealth skyrocket. This is how you become a millionaire or multi-millionaire for retirement. Now, what you want to make sure is that you have enough in your nest egg that when you withdraw 4% off your nest egg each year, that is enough income for you to live on. Because the 4% rule, it means that you can withdraw this amount until the day you die, and you will never even touch the principal on your portfolio, and you'll still be able to leave your money down to your legacy. Now, those are the Canadian cash checkpoints. If you follow through on all of these, you can go from a broke beaver that is living paycheck to paycheck to a money moose that is financially independent, a millionaire, can retire, you can do everything on your own terms, and never want for anything for the rest of your life. Now, to summarize the Canadian cash checkpoints, first you will build your foundation. Checkpoint 1, save $1,000. Checkpoint 2, get that employer match. Checkpoint 3, pay off your high interest debt. Checkpoint 4, save 3-month emergency fund. The next stage is the building wealth stage, where you're going to invest 20 to 25% of your income. Checkpoint 5, first home savings account. Checkpoint 6, tax-free savings account. Checkpoint 7, RRSP. Last stage is to prepare for retirement. Checkpoint 8, pay off low interest debt and your mortgage. Checkpoint 9, accelerate your wealth. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not a certified financial professional, so anything you hear about in the contents of today, please check with your own professional before you make any decisions with your own personal finances. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. My spouse and I do use these steps, and we use these steps to actually go from a negative net worth into a 6-figure of invested assets, as well as buy a house. So we are approaching to get to that 1 million mark one day, and we're very excited to continue following the steps. If you like the content today, please gently hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you didn't break it, and press the subscribe and hit that little bell icon. It will let you know of any future videos that I put out. Leave any comments if you have any concerns or questions about anything I discussed today, and I gladly answer them.